You ever woken up with an old song stuck in your head? Something you've listened to, you have no idea how many times, but it is hundreds probably. And you get the melody stuck in your head and you start kind of going about your day, kind of singing along to yourself or humming it along to yourself. And you find yourself singing the lyrics that you've listened to a zillion times, but you realize, wait a minute, this is not, these are not words that I want to be singing into my reality because they're actually words that imply loss or imply separation. Eh. So maybe you decide to change the lyrics to the song and you decide to sing a different song. Well, how different is that from deciding to change your story? You've lived life a certain way for a certain period of time or for a long period of time, and you know what? You get to a place where you're like, I'm tired of living this story. I'm going to change my story. And so you start telling yourself a different story. But what happens? Similar things to what happens when you change the lyrics to a song that you've been singing to yourself over and over and over again. And before I dig too deep into this, I wanted to give that as kind of a invitation to you to come on and let's explore the idea of this together because this is what I've been experiencing a lot lately. Hey, welcome back to you, my friend. My name is D. Grant Smith. If you're new here, I appreciate you being here. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I promise you, you will appreciate it. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for coming back. I really love you and I appreciate you being here and being a part of this journey with me. This week, I've been sharing a lot of been sharing a lot of really deep, heartfelt stuff. A couple days ago, I put a video together that was raw and uncut and just my honest portrayal of what this process is like. I think for all of us, as we are really living the process of changing the story of our lives, and coming into a greater awareness of the old story. And sometimes the old story keeps coming back over and over and over again. And I think it's a way for us to continue in our own evolution, to continue in this process of really sticking to what it is that we are affirming, what it is that we are shifting into, and the person that we are choosing to be, and how different that is from the way things used to be. And not attaching to the old story, not following along with the old fears that used to trap us, used to keep us bound in some sort of sense of loss or hopelessness, and really choosing consciously to step into our power and walk in that power. So I had this experience this morning and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's a really beautiful illustration of what this process is like. So I woke up this morning with, and I have no idea what the name of this song is. I think it's These Eyes or something like that. But it's that old song, These Eyes Are Crying. And I don't know all the lyrics to the song, but as I thought about that song, the melody's really cool. Do 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 do. I was like, this is a fun song. So I was kind of going around my house, and then I went for a walk, and I was kind of humming it to myself. And my eyes aren't crying. My eyes aren't crying. My eyes are shining. So that's what I changed the lyrics to. And I started singing that to myself. These eyes are shining. These eyes that have seen a lot of love, but they're never going to see another love like I have with me. Boo-doo, boo-doo, boo-boo. Because the old lyrics to that song, these eyes that have seen a lot of love, but they're never going to see another love like I have with you. And while that can seem like it's a very big, passionate, devotional, all-encompassing, you are the greatest love that there is, when we project that out onto somebody else, we are attaching onto another person. And really healthy, loving relationships don't have attachment. And it's not projecting, you are the end all be all for my love and my happiness. That's not healthy. I've learned that the hard way a couple times. And one of the most beautiful things in the world is really choosing to love yourself wholly, totally, completely. And then from that total, whole, awesome, complete love, then you get to share that love with another person. your significant other, your SP, your soulmate, whoever it is. You are sharing in that love. They're your dance partner, but they are not the reason why you exist. They're not the reason why you're alive. They're not the reason why you get up every morning. You are, because that infinite love exists within you. That infinite love exists within me. So my eyes aren't crying if I don't have somebody close to me, and if the romantic side of things is not super hunky dory, that can't define how I feel. Yes, there's a process of when we're hurting or when things are tense between ourselves and somebody else, so ourselves and a significant other, going through that healing process and talking those things out. But projecting all of the love and all of the fulfillment of life onto somebody else isn't fair to them, and it's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. So here's what I've been doing. I became more consciously aware of the lyrics to this song, and I realized I don't want to be singing a song to myself that I've been singing a lot, both from a metaphysical standpoint and from a song lyric standpoint. When we're singing along with music, we're speaking those words out of our mouths, and words have power. I'm becoming more and more aware of some of the songs I've been listening to for a really long time that I absolutely love, but the words just suck. And I have a practice of doing something similar to what Weird Al does. Maybe that's why I like Weird Al so much, because he takes popular songs and rewrites them and makes them funny. And I'm not necessarily trying to rewrite songs and make them funny, but I am rewriting songs and making them empowering and making them about real love. Love that is not attached, love that is not codependent. Listen to love songs that maybe you've been listening to for a long time, stuff going back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And listen to the lyrics and see if there's not a codependency in there somewhere. Or if there's not some sort of like, I have to have you or I'm not complete. That's not the kind of love song. That's not a love song. That's a codependent song. So here's the revelation that I had. The reason why I wanted to put this video together and share with you, aside from the encouragement to you to just be more aware of the songs and the lyrics to the stuff that we're singing along with, and we can love the melody, that's awesome. But if the words are not edifying you from a place of whole, complete, divine love that's already inside of you and making you attached or feel attached or needing somebody else, change the lyrics. You do it for yourself. So I've been rewriting the lyrics to this song. These eyes are shining. These eyes that have seen a lot of love, but they'll never see another love like I have with me, because I'm complete in myself. Another part of that song is these arms long to, they say these arms long to hold you again. And I've decided to change that to these arms get to hold you again, because that's present tense. That longing implies separation. I'm not implying separation in my life. I'm not implying separation to a relationship. I'm living in my dream state, like I've been talking about for the past several videos. Sometimes it feels harder, sometimes it's more challenging, but that's okay. I'm not avoiding challenge. Challenge is an opportunity to grow. I'm seeing challenge now more like kind of like sparring partners in boxing. Always preparing, always getting you ready, always checking to make sure you're really ready, always checking to really help you validate yourself and know that you're really moving forward. That's all it is. And embracing it. And actually, something I learned yesterday. Gratitude. I talked a little bit a couple videos ago about when I was raw and uncut. I'll put a link to that up here. When I was doing the whole raw, uncut, this is what the self-concept process looks like in rewriting the story. I realized that there's been a lot of scarcity consciousness in my DNA and in my consciousness. And one of the things I learned is that when we're thinking about the things that are missing and our focus is there, we're going to continue to experience that because the universe gives us what we focus on. So how do we get out of that? Well, here's what I did, and I felt a whole ton of negative energy release out of my body after about 15 minutes of this. And maybe I'll put the meditation down below that I listened to. It wasn't my meditation; it was somebody else. There's actually two meditations that I would recommend. They're gratitude meditations, and that's what I learned. I learned that being grateful for what you have increases that. And this is something I've known for a long time, but it's like I forgot it. And sometimes we need to be reminded. So being grateful for what you have. I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for 350 something subscribers here. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. So many of you guys are new to me. Go back, I don't know, 5 months, 4 months. I had less than 100 subscribers, and now it's like exponentially increasing just every day. More and more people joining into this. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for that. Um, and I'm grateful for every one of you. I'm grateful for you. Whoever you are watching this, I am grateful for you, and I do love you. When I say that, that's not just platitudes and words. Like that's really coming from my heart. I do love you, and I do appreciate you. I'm grateful for I'm shifting into a more vibrant, just being grateful for everything all the time. And I'm noticing that not only do I feel more alive and not only do I feel more peaceful, but that low frequency energy that I was feeling in my body, like it's just like dissipated, evaporated, gone. So that's a little for what I want. I've covered a lot of ground here. I was really just going to talk about changing the song lyrics, um, changing the lyrics to the songs that you're singing, and just being creative with it and having fun with it. But here's what I was going to really share. Thank you for your patience. Um, as I've been singing this new version of this old song to myself, the old lyrics come back because that's what I was used to listening to. And so I'm songs playing in my head, and even though I'm consciously changing the lyrics, the old song comes back, and I start singing it, and I'm like, then I have to catch myself. Wait, no, no, that's the old song. I'm not singing that song anymore. This is the new song. And in this revision process, in this rewriting our story, rewriting our self concept, like I said in that raw and uncut video, that old story is going to come back. And it's going to keep showing up and showing up and showing up. And we have to remind ourselves, no, wait, this is not my story anymore. That's the old story. The new story is this. And it's like maybe it's part of the computer program. It's used to running the same script over and over again. And we have to continually rewrite it and remind, no, remember, that's the old. This is the new. That's the old. This is the new. It's kind of like training a puppy or something like that. Yeah, no, no, you don't do this, you do this. No, no, you don't do this, you do this. We have to train ourselves. Kind of like teaching our inner child, maybe like ABCs. First time you heard the ABCs, did you remember all of the ABCs? No. I was teaching a little girl yesterday. Some of the work I do is teaching children how to read or reading principles. And I was going over the alphabet with this one girl, and she had the alphabet sitting in front of her. One of the questions she had to answer was, what comes first, F or G? And I asked her, and she's like, I don't know. I'm like, you got the alphabet right in front of you. Why don't you tell me? She looks at it and she's like, but it was in like this chart. So A, B, C, D, E, it goes down to F, G, H, I, J. Depending on how you view things, if you're looking at a chart, maybe you start reading from top to bottom instead of from left to right. Anyhow, I wrote it out on paper. I was like, okay, so you can see it here. What comes first, F or G? And she's like, F. Yeah, F. That's right. Okay, so when you're thinking of the alphabet, which comes first, F or G? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, but you just answered the question. And what that communicated to me was when we're going through this process of learning, we can know something in the moment. And then the moment passes, and because it hasn't stuck in with us yet, because it hasn't rooted down into us and really taken root in the soil of our consciousness, it's not going to always stick. And we're going to have to repeat that over and over and over again until it does. We've got to do the same thing with our new story. We've got to do the same thing to the new lyrics that we're writing to an old song. And as much as that old song comes back or that old story comes back, we've got to continue to remind ourselves, no, no, not without getting mad, without getting angry, without getting frustrated. No, no, no. That's the old story. And sometimes, like you saw me getting raw and real, sometimes it can be annoying that the old story keeps coming back and coming back and coming back. And you're like, when will you just freaking go away? I'm done with it. I'm done with this old story. And I'm learning to press pause, take a deep breath, be patient with myself because the unwriting process And the rewriting process is just that, and it requires patience. And what is the number one ingredient of love that's mentioned in the Bible, at least in terms of how Paul describes it in the First Corinthians? Love is patient, and we have to be patient with ourselves. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. How does that resonate with you? Are you up for two things? One, becoming more aware of the songs that pop into your head and thinking about what those lyrics actually communicate? And two, are you willing to revise those lyrics and whatever it is that you're singing to yourself to be something that actually edifies, affirms, and promotes the love that you already are without needing it from somebody else and without attaching on to anybody else or anything else? And if so, drop down and let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you. I love you. I believe in you. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon.